In this video, we will discover Blender's shaders interface. So here, what we have is a basic scene that I did create with some stuff that comes from here, a scene that is here, that you can find always, as usual. This here, you will find it over there into cycles. I can go quicker here, I guess. Yeah, into cycles, from what I remember, it's here, okay, the Italian flat, so thanks to Flavio della Tomasa for this. And here I just have some chairs, a table, a Suzanne, and two objects beside. And when I look at it in render view, we have this kind of render. So here we have a basic Suzanne with a green and red objects beside. Like this, we have some reflections. We can have some reflections, and here we have the studio setup that we did create together behind. Okay, it's exactly the same setup. So basically what I will do, I will go into the shading tab, I will select Suzanne, and we have a new interface here that I will show you. Here we have the selection file that we can just open the files that you have on your computer, and you can just select textures here. Here you can open some textures as well, and you will see directly the textures if needed. So for now, we will not focus too much on that because we will have an entire video dedicated about the textures into the shaders. But here, what we will do, we'll focus on this interface here. That looks a little strange for people that doesn't know how works nodes. Nodes, basically, it's a system that lets you create some kind of trees, tree system that makes the information from left to the right, okay? So let's say you have here, I will go into this tab here. I will just have my shader that is called Suzanne that I can here rename Suzanne. If you don't have any shader, you create a new one, okay? And this one I will call it monkey for the example, okay? So it's another one, and it will be into the list of the materials that I have into my blend file here. And I can tell, for example, I can take the anthracite, for example, or whatever here shader that I have already into my blend file. Okay, so it will be a new one in the list here, and it creates by default a principal BSDF and a material output. There are nodes with plugs that you can put some things, some other nodes information into it. Okay, you can see that there are some colors, and this basically is a shader node. So the green one is a shader node, and the outside of it will go with a green dot and goes to the surface or the volume. All the BSDF nodes, the BSDF shaders, will create some information in the surface. If you have volume nodes, by Shift A, you can see that I can add new node. I can select a shader, and you have some volume, for example, a principal volume here. The others are BSDF, okay? So principal volume will let you plug something into the volume. And now if I remove that one, you can see that we have a kind of strange, like a cloud. If I increase the density of it, like for example, I will put 10, I can start to see that it's the volume, it's not the surface, okay? So basically, we have some shaders like this. You plug, and you have the information that goes into the surface. You have the possibility, as I showed you, to add some other nodes. So let's say I will add a new color, and maybe I will mix color, okay? You can see that here I have two informations of color, and I will plug the result into the base color of the principal here. So for example, let's mix, for example, a green with a blue, a pure blue here, and what we have is something in between, okay? And you can see that now we can just create some more interesting stuff. We can add some textures, we can add some information for the roughness, the metallic, the alpha. We will discover all of that into the next videos, but because I will make an entire video just for this node. This node is the most important that you will find for make your shaders in Blender. So you have this interface as well that reproduce a little what's happening here into the nodes interface into let's say a tab system here. But it's so much more it's so much more efficient to use this system that this one. You will never look at it except that you want just to tweak the first node, but you will not have the information of the second and third, and sometimes you have a lot of nodes here that plugs to only one here to have a beautiful shader. So here you can just click and drag to move it, or you can select a node by just clicking it, and I will enable the screencast keys like this. You will see what I do here. Okay, so if I just use G, I will move the node. Okay, I can select two nodes with shift. Okay, I can make a scale if I want to make something like this. It's not really what we use like this. If you have two nodes that you want to plug like this with, let's say, let's come back with a mix color. You select both here and you make F, and it will just make the link between the two. When you click and drag like this, you remove the link. Or when you make a control right click, you cut the link. Or when you make a shift right click here, you make a new here reroute. You see that now you have this one that you can move somewhere else just to organize well all the little noodles that you will have here. Okay, so here this is basically the system of it. And to manage that, I really recommend you, and it's really something that you will have to use if you want to be efficient with the node system here. I really recommend you to enable here into the preferences to go and search for the add-on. Maybe I did install it already. Where is it? It's the Node Wrangler. Okay. If you don't have it installed, you go into the extensions, you search for Node Wrangler, and you enable that. I will just enable this one, and it has a few functions that are really important to understand. So let's say I will add a texture. Okay, and this texture will be just a noise texture that comes from Blender. And if I plug this to this, I will see that I will have a kind of texture that will appear here. Let's say that the factor, so it's an information in black and white. I can plug it to the color because black and white to color, it works. And I can plug color to black and white as well. Sometimes it can work, but I cannot plug factor here to the normal information. It will not work well, or to the surface information. It will not work well. So only color and black and white value. The color is the yellow one, the black and white value, it's the gray one, will work, and you can sometimes mix them to have something in the end, but you cannot make things to the normals and to the surface. I will come back to normal and surface after. But here we have basically an information in black and white, as you can see. And now I will have maybe another node, and maybe I will come back with a mix color. Okay, so the mix color, I will put a factor into it, and now I can have a color red here, let's say, and a color green here to have really something. And you can see that we see here the result. We have a mix between the two. And let's add a new node to make you understand a little more. And maybe I would like to contrast this. To contrast, we use another node with Shift A, and this is a converter color ramp that I will add here. And if I want to contrast, I just click and drag these two little here things. And now you can see that you have more interesting color. And sometimes you need to know what goes out from a specific node here. And here you have only the result by default. And if you don't enable the Node Wrangler add-on, you cannot do what I will do now. It's the Control-Shift-Click. Control-Shift-Click will let you here just see directly from a node the result here in the material output. Control-Shift-Click on this one, you see the result, but now it's contrasted. Control-Shift-Click, on that one, and here you will see the result after the mixing the two colors, and here you will see the result in the end, okay? So this one, just for this shortcut, is very important. The Node Wrangler will let you manage the nodes more precisely, and we will see that we will have other shortcuts during discovering how to make some shaders and interesting shaders. That will be very important with the Node Wrangler add-on. You can find some more interesting stuff with the Node Wrangler here. You can see that you will have some other here buttons that you can use, and other other stuff that you can use, but we will discover it with shortcuts after. And that's it for now. So you can see that already, just to change some different and to add some different colors here, you have a few nodes that will make the job until the principal BSDF and until the material output. So this is basically how works the node system, and you will see that it's very powerful for people that are really not used on this. You will see it's not that complicated to understand. Sometimes you see a lot of nodes that will appear and that comes to this, and it makes a big tree, like something big like this, okay? Maybe I can see maybe that one. You see already that there are already a few nodes that appear to come and have this nice textured shader material on this chair, okay? The same for that one. You have a different one here. So you will see that it seems a little intimidated, but actually it's so easy to understand that you will see that it works pretty well. Just be used a little to it, and we will see and take a few examples to make you more familiar with this system. So first of all, let's go into the principal BSDF shader, and I will show you that it's the main shader that you will use always. It will be in the next video.